One time for the man that with me, never let the vibration go, let me get down.
Why majority of our guests are women? It's not because we're discriminating the men. It's because the men
are too charming.
Yeah,
oh,
not charming.
Okay.
But the problem is a little bit.
Oh God.
The problem is the boys of Canberra don't have sense.
Hey guys, not gonna take that.
Look, it's true.
I chew. I bless this beat with a verse or two. I'm in the mood. Better catch this cruise. Oh my God, I got flows like H2. OC them, I hate you. But don't let man them face you. Step in the booth, disgrace you. Hold tight, my guy, take two. I feel safe, they make two. Shaku, shaku, shaku. This leg one might just catch.
I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves, say what you want to say, maybe your shoe size. We did your shoe size last week. It can be your head size, maybe you want to get your headband out of your forehead.
I'm Aisha. I'm a size 7, I think. Sorry. I'm a size 7 and I love your tea set. Where'd you get it?
Oh!
It's David, aka Devil Flows.
Devil Flows.
You already know. And talking about shoe size, hey, my shoe size is I think it's 7, but hey, don't believe what they say though. Don't believe what they say.
Is it Bill? Before we digress.
Yeah.
Promise, you just want to tell us what we're talking about today.
Alright, look, at the end, like if you're like me and at a young age you got shipped to a foreign country and while you in the process of getting there, trying to naturalize and get used to the environment, your parents who are ancient decide to instill the same
culture,
the same mentality on you as though you're back in the country you're from. Yeah. This episode is for you. This is where we're going to talk about how our ethnic parents have sort of shaped our social upbringing in Western societies, right?
Let's not call them ancient though, because like
my mom's gonna be watching this. When she complains, I'll tell her why I call her ancient. I remind her all those times.
If you watch this, you're not ancient. You're
Promise doesn't speak on behalf of all of us.
Exactly.
Alright. So look,
I think it's just the worst word to use, but
it's not the worst word.
It's around that angle. It's a different time. So it's still back then.
Different generation. Let's say from a different generation.
Back in the day.
Back in the day,
back in the ghetto, listen to those.
Back in the ghetto.
In most cases, like we have friends who's brought us here and expect us to act as though we're still back in India or Nigeria. Just that mentality of you're from this place, so no matter where you are, act like you're in this place.
Yeah.
Some other kids are just like, we don't have it that bad, and then we always go, you don't have Nigerian parents. It is different. Like I know we're all black, but like we have it 2.0.
That I think it's kind of made me rebellious in a way because I felt like I had to lie to do certain things that other kids would just go ahead and do. I'll say, I don't want to use the word bad parenting because I think a parent should get to know their kids and be able to know that, okay, you can trust me, you can tell me everything.
The kind of stuff you will do.
Yeah, I can trust you too. But because we've come from a place where the children ain't taking you nowhere. So if you say I'm honestly going here, you're not going to make it. So it's not happening.
Yeah, deal with it.
I'll do it then.
I apologize instead of asking
exactly. Then that means as I grow up in life and leave the house, I'll apply this in every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
I'll just break the rule and apologize later and not think about it, think about much of it. But if they say, I don't want you to be here, and they make an active, effort to make sure you don't go there, then I'll get used to it. Then I'll have no FOMO, and I'll just have the idea that I don't need to be here. There's no missing out on anything here.
So basically, you're saying they should police you, like you're not gonna be here, and I'm gonna make sure that you're not gonna be here.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Not necessarily police, but they have to make an active effort.
What is the active effort?
So be watching you 24/7.
So I'm thinking if they say don't go out, and then they know, okay, this kid might sneak out of the house and not when I'm asleep. So make an active effort to make sure he's not sneaking out of the house. Okay. Or if he comes back, I'm at the door waiting for him.
I feel like that would work in terms of restraining you from heading out. But it's gonna feed that rebellion. Like it's gonna feed the rebellion in you. Like you're gonna
find better ways.
Generally, humans like to do things they're told not to do. Like once you put a rule that you can't go there, then your curiosity will just make you want to do that thing. So generally, I feel like that would just build up rebellion in you, and they're not going to be able to restrain you 100% all the time, though.
I think it was after 2016, like even before 2016, if I wanted to go to a friend's place for a bit, I had to get permission. And bear in mind, I'm in my 20s already. That was like my 19, 20. But I think now that I've lived further and further away from them for a while now, they're kind of
comfortable.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. It's kind of just like, well, she's far away. We can't really do much. And like, yeah, I wasn't as good as my sister at sneaking out, but I'm not going to incriminate myself here.
I stand for values and morals, and like definitely by all means instill those things in your children. No one wants to see that kids go wayward in whatever sense it is to them. But in the same vein, I feel like being strict, like coming from someone who has African parents, and shout out my parents, I love you guys, but like you get to a point where you start to form your own ideas and your own views on the world, and you can't have a conversation with your parents about it.
Of course.
Like you can't have a conversation if it's not what they want, if it's not what they have in their head. Don't even bring the topic up.
Yes, don't try.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
And like you cannot live your whole life living I feel like African parents want to live their lives, finish it, and then come right back and live their lives again through you.
That's very true, because for me, and that's one thing I struggle with the most, and that even in my own personal experience, that's what I've struggled with. Like for most of my life, I'm now 27, like until I was at least 21, 22, everything my parents told me were not negotiable. It was like, this is the law, we're not friends, I'm your parents, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And now I'm at this age.
Dictatorship.
It was a dictatorship, and now I'm at this age, you're trying to introduce me to democracy. I'm used to the dictatorship.
I'm used to military regime.
I'm used to the dictating. So now I can't come to you because like it's not that I'm afraid of you, because I've never really had that emotional safety, because I know everything I say that's contrary to what you think, it's gonna end in a war of shouting, and it's gonna be a problem. Sometimes I see some bloggers say now, like you can change your narrative. Well, it's a bit unfair to ask me who is the child to change the mentality of an adult.
Yeah, it's
like
the parents' responsibility at the end of the day. Yeah. Like I'm gonna break off and start my own family, and then my family is my responsibility. Like you have these many years to build a relationship with me as a parent, and if you don't do it, then it's on you. Like
you can't also blame your parents, because they're coming from a point where like they live in the world, they have more experience, they know how dangerous the world can be. So it's also a thing of care that, my child, I don't want you to be here, I don't know what's happening there, I can't be there to protect you.
When you can't be a helicopter parent.
And it's also the thing of
that's one.
Yeah.
Then two as well, it's that you have to they want you to grow up with certain values that they expect. Yeah. So you being out away from them can be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
And then at this point in time, and also they still have like old mentality as well. They are not well educated in that sense where, this is how I can approach my children. Look, my daughter now, I know how to talk to her. When she telling me about things, because I'm more aware, I'm more educated in that sense. I know how to talk to her and be like, okay, it's alright, you can be here, you can do that, that's cool, that kind of a thing. But our parents don't know that.
The funniest thing I think is the fact that your whole entire life, you grow up from primary school to secondary school to your uni years. You know what I'm saying? They never have a discussion. They do like if I'm coming from a guy's perspective, my parents acted like girls don't exist. Like you're gonna go through your whole life, you're not gonna see any girls. Like my first night in Australia, like my first night on campus, I cried. God knows I cried. I saw things I've never seen before. I was like, I called them. I'd been in the country for maybe like 2 weeks. It was my first night on campus. My first couple weeks I was with my auntie, and then I moved to campus and they would do the whole Freshers Week stuff. And just went wild. And I told my parents, I'm like, what did you send me to?
Someone I was like, she was meant to join us today, but she was unable to. She was telling me a story, and she literally said, I was going to a public mixed school, and I had the best friend. Like, this is how extreme. I love this girl, she's Pakistani, she's Muslim, so you can imagine how much more extreme to be for her.
Yeah.
She's like, I was going to a mixed school, and I came home with my best friend, who is a girl, a white girl, and this girl was wearing a skirt that was too short for my mom's liking. Guess how her mom reacted to that? She sent her, the week after that, she sent her to an all-girls Muslim school. Because her best friend came home with a skirt she didn't like. Now this girl is 27. They're saying, "Oh, where's your husband?" Wait, how? Like, from where?
He's in the school you took me out of.
So you can imagine that mentality of I will protect you from absolutely every aspect of the world. But I'm gonna at some point I'm gonna
send you to that world.
Go out there and be like act like you've been there the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the transition between high school and uni. You go from getting permission to go to the bathroom, and the next thing you know, you need to know how to do your taxes and all that. Like,
Yeah, but there's things that happen in between, like, you know.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we're never prepared for that in between.
It comes down to mentality. They, like you said, the word ancient. It's almost true. They've got that old mentality. They wish well for you, but they don't know how to.
The execution.
Do you guys have like the most extreme incident with your parents? Like in terms of this, like do you have stories to tell? Like everyone just like think of the most extreme thing your parents ever did in this regard. And you seem to be ready. So
Yeah, I'm ready. So when I was in high school, you know, I had a girlfriend. Ideal girlfriend, but yeah, it was. Anyway, so she's come home. At that time, I think the relationship was not really great. So when she came to our house to visit, I told my older brother to tell her I'm not at home. So anyway, but I was in the house, and then she was like, okay, David's not at home. So they sat outside talking in the veranda, compound, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And then, so our house had two entrances, right? So my mom was returned from work, came from the back entrance, and my mom was a women leader in the church. Oh my God. So now she's back, and she saw me looking through the window, see what my older brother is, you know, chatting to my girlfriend. And I couldn't whisper to him because I'm not supposed to be at home.
Yeah.
You know? And then she's like, what are you looking at? And I didn't know what to say. I just let her look for herself. And she saw these two laughing and bumping each other like this. Guess what my mom did? She didn't say anything. She went to the kitchen, grabbed a spatula. It was kind of funny. I watched her go around. It was whooping this guy and this girl. I'm just like, what the fuck? I took off. Like, why am I running? I don't know.
Soccer, like if anyone who knows me, that's really the only sport I care about. We're going to play. You know how like you come from Nigeria compared to most of these Australian kids, you're better, like significantly better than my football. So this school was hyping. I promise, soccer. So I took the permission slip to my dad. Like just sign this thing, just the school saying your son is gonna be here today, blah blah.
And that's coming from the school. So
from school.
The logo and official. Like,
it. Did you come here to play football? Literally, this was not even this was a midweek event. This man told me, tell the school you are sick, you are not going anywhere. Literally.
Nah.
So you can imagine, so after all that, it's just like the truth doesn't work. And for me, that's where the line, when I say African kid line, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
The truth obviously does not work.
It doesn't work.
So for me, and like obviously I've used this as like I've looked at my parents. So there's a lot of things I'll take from them, but there's a lot of things I'll drop. So and I'm sort of the sort of parents I'll be.
So I'd want to be that parent that they can come to me for anything.
Yeah.
Like I very much take a lot of inspiration from my aunt because she is a single mother, so she's got that kind of open relationship with her kids, and I really like that. But at the same time, I know kids these days are really quick to grow up, so I think managing those boundaries would be
challenging.
The conversation is the most important thing.
Yes.
You have a conversation, then you can put in any rule, you can, and you know, it just flows. Just make sure it's your kids are not hiding things from you. Your kids are not scared. Make sure your kids are not scared to approach you. That's the most important thing.
It is, man.
And yeah,
there's nothing wrong with saying good morning to your child first before they say back to you.
Yeah.
Like the world doesn't change.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's why I think it's going to be up to us to start changing that. As you can see, we're talking about it now. Our kids will even know better, and they're quite lucky to be now because they will know, they know better.
Wrong thing, so I'm going to shout at you to feel bad about what you've done.
Yeah.
So it's like, why should I come to you? I already feel bad.
yeah.
Exactly.
I already feel bad.
So why am I coming to? Because all you're gonna do is yell.
It's worse in years. So
I should be able to even tell you that, dad, there's this girl in school that I like.
how to go start? Give me
Just
some.
something small.
Like-
Something small like that. I have a crush.
Because it's not like there's ever gonna be a kid that's not gonna have crushes.
Yeah.
You're gonna have crushes. And if you can't talk to your friends about it, you're gonna talk to the friends who are the so-called bad influences.
Yeah.
They're gonna tell you what they think you should do. It's really good discussion, and I feel like it could stem to a whole lot of other things.
Yeah,
like,
it could, yeah.
African parents is
it's
a unicorn.
Yeah, but to stop, there are also some, white parents that are also very strict.
Yeah.
But I think they're also, intellectual to do it with reason. Like I said, have that conversation.
Yeah.
So
there will always be white parents that are even as strict as African parents, like but like obviously we're just we're talking about where we come from. That's our experience. Like definitely there will be white parents, but generally the Westerners tend to be more open to these kind of things. But whatever it is for you, good for you. Parents do better, kids do better. Don't rebel. We're not promoting rebellion on this channel. We're all good boys and good girls. But thanks again for watching and listening and sharing and liking and listening to us talk our shit. We'll meet you back on another episode of Capital Captain.
Hello. This episode you watched, well, I hope you liked it.
If you didn't, then you have problems bigger than our ability to entertain you.
So why don't you go ahead and like
and share
and subscribe,
and we'll catch you on the next episode of Capital Cappings.
Keep capping.
The whole town is loud whenever I'm around. Everybody going wild. Use your head now.
I was trying to clean up nice. Bow tie, I'm the man now.